guys, welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Now for today's book review, we are going to be reviewing Through the Dust by Amber Palmer. This is the second book in the Black Springs Ranch series. Now, I have finished the entire series. There are 3 books in the series. My review of the third book will be the video that comes out a couple days after this one, and I have thoroughly enjoyed all the books that I have read by Amber Palmer. Also, if you couldn't tell by the cover, this is cowboy romance. She's also an independently published author, and I think supporting independently published authors is fantastic. It's one of my favorite things to do. I swear, like, most of the books I have thoroughly enjoyed this year have been by indie authors. I think indie authors put out a lot of great work, and I've discovered some of them through TikTok. I think some of them just through looking on Amazon. And I don't remember like all the different ways, but if you want to see another video in the future as I read more independently published authors where I recommend more, let me know in the comments down below and I will do that. But let's get into this review. So this one I gave 4.5 stars if I'm not mistaken. And I'll give you some of the major tropes in this book. So the major trope is age gap, as well as forced proximity, and sort of like an enemies to lovers, and sort of like they've known each other for like over a decade. So this follows Lennox Hayes, and her father owns the Black Springs Ranch, and also Bishop Bryant, who is basically like the foreman on the ranch. Now, Bishop Bryant has been living and working on the ranch basically his entire life. When he was a young teenager, his mother ended up like kicking him out, and he was working at, I believe, the tractor supply store. I don't remember what it's called. And that's when Lennox Hayes' father goes in and then ends up at some point offering him a job, or he goes to the ranch, one or the other. It's either like her father offers Bishop Bryant a job at the supply store, or he ends up going to the ranch and saying, I have nowhere to stay. And like, I think it was like, I don't remember which one. I'm like kind of confused at the moment. I'm forgetful on that detail. But anyway, basically, in the end, her father offers him a job and a place to stay. And so throughout the years, he ends up becoming like kind of second in command on the ranch. And definitely in this book, he takes over more control as Lennox Hayes' father does have like I think he has a heart attack. And the doctors are basically like, you can't keep working, you actually should retire. They're like, you can keep working if you want to, you just won't live as long and you're going to die much sooner, whereas if you retire and take care of yourself and your heart, you'll live longer, to see your grandkids and things like that. So he ends up deciding to step back and retire, and that's when like Bishop Bryant takes over more control. But Lennox Hayes' father doesn't want just Bishop Bryant to be the one in control. He also was like, Lennox Hayes, his daughter, he was like, Lennox, you and Bishop can work together. And at first they don't want to do that because they kind of like always bicker with one another and like throw jabs at each other throughout all the years that they've known each other. But they decide to work together, and that's where you sort of get like the forced proximity. Like, obviously you get it because they both live together on the ranch. When they don't live together on the ranch, but they both live on the ranch and work at the ranch. So that's where you get the forced proximity. But them co-running the ranch like together brings the forced proximity more into focus and brings it more predominant and more like it's even more forced proximity. Also, like I said, you have age gap. So she is 27 and he is 40, which I think in real life might not be the best, but in the book I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this was like such a fun book, and it was kind of, I think sometimes it's fun when I'm not always a fan of like an enemies to lovers, but I do find it fun when they bicker with one another, and then it just goes from bickering to like playful like banter, and it like translates into that, and they end up like falling in love. And this was just like some funny moments and some cute moments, and I just like thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. If you're somebody who is looking for a new cowboy romance series to read, then I would highly recommend reading this one. And also, like I said, she's an indie published author, which is something else that I love to support. So yeah, like I said, 4.5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. So stay tuned for my review of the third and final book in this series, because that one was probably one of my favorites in the series. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, thoroughly enjoyed this one. Highly recommend it. Oh yes, I was about to just end it right off like that, my video, because that's what I do for my TikToks and Instagram. But I forgot I also do outros on here. So, if you have any more cowboy romance recommendations, you can leave those in the comments down below. I'm always looking for new cowboy romance series to read. You can also follow me at RomanceBLVD on Instagram. That stands for Romance Boulevard, as well as Romance Boulevard fully spelled out on TikTok. And the same username as Instagram is also the same one for Threads. I forget to mention Threads, but basically all the content I post on Instagram just auto post on Threads. So if you want to follow me there, you can do that as well. Yeah, so I am trying to get back to posting 7 days a week on TikTok. I am gonna be posting some more cool content on there that is not just book reviews and still images, but because that's kind of like what I've fallen back on, but other content. So you can follow me on there. I also reached over 1,000 followers a couple weeks ago, and I am so excited about that. I just hope that the community continues to grow. So yeah, that is all for this video. Until the next one, bye.